All right, here we go. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. We are presented by Prize Picks as always. Shout out to everybody for being here. Yes, a little bit later than normal. I can see the chat. Apologies, but I think for good reason, because today is the day that we are going to revisit the best moments from the Bears 2025 magical season. So producer Cullen had to go dig up all the clips from the watch parties, and I had to come up with the list, and so it took a little bit longer. So I think it's worth the wait, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. We'll kind of do that in two parts today. We'll do 6 through 10, and then 1 through 5 at the end of the show. 6 through 10 will be kind of in the middle of the show, so it'll be fun. Hopefully everybody's getting ready for a big weekend. I'm leaving for the West Coast tomorrow, be out for a few days, but then when I get back, have about couple weeks and training camp will be here, so can't wait for that. Shout out your city. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Cullen, I know you cut up all the clips, so kind of our last day to reminisce on what was a magical 2025 season for the Bears. A lot of crazy games, and then we'll turn the page to next season.
Yeah, it was a year to remember, I think, for a lot of people, especially Bears fans. And going back and actually cutting up those clips, obviously you did a little bit of research on it as well. You kind of just remember where you were. I mean, obviously we're in studio, but you kind of remember the thought process going into some of these crazy plays that the Bears had last season. Obviously seeing your reactions to them are always fun. You tend to, get a little passionate around these Chicago Bears games for whatever reason. I don't know why. But.
Yeah, it's, we've had so many crash out moments. It was nice for it to kind of flip on its head this time around. So, oh my God. Oh, Jesus. I'm sweating out of Prize Picks right now, folks. Shout out to Prize Picks. But, yeah, anyway, it was fun revisiting those clips. It'll be fun to kind of see it all in show format for you guys. So stay tuned. We'll get to those coming up.
Shout out your city, number one. We'll give some shout outs here in a moment. Also down below, quickly, predict some moments that you think are going to make the top 10.
Yeah.
Let us know down below. I can give some shout-outs, though, as we're kind of getting people loaded in here. We got DB French from the west side. I'm not sure what side or west side of what, but shout-out to you. Monahans, Texas from David. Chicago from your boy. Toronto, Canada from Baseline. We've got Chicago from CBS Sports. FGB from Dan, always appreciate it.
Shy Guy in Frisco asking if a studio tour is available. Possibly. We could maybe set something up for people living locally. Don't want to overpromise. We have a lot going on, but we could maybe work something out at some point.
There we go. Sacramento from Cody. In a semi-truck from Harris. Yeah, shout out to everybody who's listening while they're driving.
Yeah, be safe if you're driving around.
Yeah. Hammond, Indiana from Timmy. Chicago, Illinois from Diego. Florida from the Storm. Minneapolis, Minnesota from Luke. Cary, Illinois from Jacob. Geneva, Illinois from Timmy. Matt, El Paso, Texas. Knox, Indiana from Brian. Fargo, North Dakota from Jeray. And we're seeing some guesses that I won't say yes or no, but there's some good guesses in there. There's some good guesses.
Yeah.
There are some good guesses.
Shout out to the chat. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. And, I can't wait for today's show. Shout out to Prize Picks as well. Awesome sponsor for us here at Bears Now and across Chat Sports. If you're new here, no better place to play daily fantasy. If you've been here a while, you guys know the drill. Pick more or less on player stat predictions that Prize Picks offers. We're talking goals, shots on target, passes if you're involved in the World Cup, baseball season, hits, RBI, strikeouts, outs, all kinds of stuff. Team picks, too. I'm sweating out of team picks right now. I took less than 2.5 total goals. We were cruising in this France-Morocco game, and then France just scored twice in about a 5-minute period. So 2-0 with probably about 20 minutes of game action left. So can't have any more goals there. We'll see if I am able to cash in there. But here's an example of a player picks lineup as well. A new season-long football lineup for you guys. I like this one. 20 to win 155. Justin Jefferson more than 1149.5 receiving yards. He was right at that last year with horrific QB play. I think he gets back to being that 1,200-plus yard guy this year. Justin Herbert, I think with Mike McDaniel, I think they're going to throw the football more this year. I think he's back probably more than 4,000 passing yards in 2026. And then Caleb Williams, demon play. I'm leaning in to our guy. The curse ends. More than 4,000 passing yards, increases the payout there with it being a demon. 20 to win 155. Check out Prize Picks today. Use our code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5. That's code HMA, $50 in lineups. You sign up and play your first $5 lineup. We appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring, as always. Okay, favorite Bears moment from 2025. Favorite Bears moment from 2025. If you had to pick one, I'm not going to give mine because that's coming up, but there's certainly plenty to choose from.
A lot of great moments.
I even have an honorable mentions list.
You do?
Because we couldn't get them all
really
in
like
there.
15 moments.
Well, and a few of them were a couple of them were combo too, so like some of those could have been their own individual. I mean, you really could have done like 15 to 20, but we're doing top 10. Are they subbing Mbappe off?
It looks like it.
That's huge for the program. That means they're packing it in defensively, so
yeah.
Come on. Let's just no more goals, fellas. No more goals. Diego says Walker TD to force overtime. David says DJ Moore beating the Packers. Loveland for the win against the Bengals. Caleb to DJ for the win in the wild card. DJ Moore walk-off against Green Bay. Yeah, those are all good ones. A lot of those are going to be discussed, I would think.
Potentially.
All right, since we're a little late, let's get this thing rolling here. Hit that like button. Thanks to everybody for being here. You guys are the best. Let's get more Bears fans here. We are going to do a mailbag still, so hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Get your questions answered on the show. Only about 120 people so far today, so let's get some questions in there. And, we're getting closer to training camp, so if you have training camp-related questions like position battles, stuff like that, whatever you got for us, fire away with hashtag Bears or by Super Chatting. We're going to go through the entire 91-man Bears roster. Oh, boy, we got France on the counter. At least there's no Mbappe. Can I dodge a bullet here? For now, I can. Yes. Okay, we're sweating out Prize Picks here. 91-man roster placed into 4 buckets. Roster locks, bubble, guys who are likely going to get cut. We'll dive into all that. Like I said, hashtag Bears or Super Chat for your mailbag questions. And then we will revisit the best moments from 2025. Two-parter. We'll go 6 through 10 and then 1 through 5. Should be a lot of fun. It's all coming up. Chicago Bears now. I'm Harrison Graham, and Chicago Bears Now is presented by Prize Picks. On today's show, we're going to take a look at the Bears' 91-man roster and place every player into 4 categories on today's show. We're presented by Prize Picks, code HMA, $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. So this is not the blue tier, red tier, yellow tier. It's not that show. We already did that. That's more of like a, placing players into caliber of tier. This is just for this season in terms of like basically figuring out what the 53-man roster could end up looking like. So how many players are locks? No chance of getting cut. How many players are safe where they're very likely to make the team? It's unlikely that they would get cut. Bubble means they're battling for a spot on the 53, pushing to make this roster. And then long shots, likely cut. Maybe there's a surprise player or two to push for a roster spot. Maybe you return to the practice squad as well. Why 91 players? Because remember, Tory Taylor counts as an international exemption, at least in the offseason. They don't get 54 players during the season, but this time of year, they get an extra roster spot with Tory Taylor being from Australia. All right, guys, we're knocking on the door of 165,000 subscribers. If you want to support this program, hit that subscribe button today. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. The goal has always been 165K before training camp. I think we're going to get there with your guys' help, so appreciate the love and support on that. Okay, we start with some Bears roster locks as we go through the entire 91-man roster. A lot of obvious ones, right? I mean, most of these are. 2 quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, Tyson Bagent. You could put Case Keenum in there, but I don't think he's 100% lock, although it's very likely. DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, they're locks to make the team. Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, Kalif Raymond, Zavion Thomas are all locks. Thomas being a third-round pick, he's on the team. Colston Loveland, Kmet, Sam Roush. I think all 3 of your tight ends are locks. The only question is, do they keep a 4th? And if they do, who is that? We'll explore that a little bit later. Darnell Wright's a lock. Joe Thuney's a lock. Jonah Jackson's a lock. I do think Garrett Bradbury's a lock. And by the way, just side note, if a guy gets traded, that likely means he was a lock, but, you know, They like to trade. So, like, there's a tiny scenario where Bradbury could get traded, but if not, he's on this team. He's not going to get cut. Logan Jones is a lock as a second-round pick. Montez Sweat, Austin Booker, your projected starting edge rushers are locks. Dayo Odeyingbo is a lock just based on his contract. Shemar Turner, second-round pick from last year, is a lock. Now, maybe he starts on the pup. We'll explore a couple of guys that I think will start on the pup, but I think Turner probably gets back and ready for week 1, or at least close enough where they don't put him on a 4-game pup or short-term IR list. Okay, continuing with some locks. Grady Jarrett and Gervon Dexter, they're a locks. Jarrett based on his contract, and he's still maybe your first or second best defensive tackle, and Dexter's a projected starter too. Devin Bush and TJ Edwards are both locks. Could they trade TJ? Perhaps, but they can't cut him based on his contract. So if he's here, he's going to be on the team. Jaylon Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Tyrique Stevenson, Malik Muhammad. I think they're all locks. Muhammad is a 4th-round pick. I think is a lock. Kyler's on the team. They can't cut him, and they're not going to trade him. Jaylon Johnson's a lock, and Tyrique, maybe something pops up, but with the questions at corner, I don't see how he's not on the team. Coby Bryant, Dillon Thieneman are both locks as well, first-round pick and your top priority free agent. And then lastly, your kicker and punter. Cairo Santos is a lock. They already cut Gabriel Placencia, the guy they had in for part of the offseason program, the rookie. He already got cut. And then Tory Taylor is your starting punter. You don't have a second punter, so he is a lock as well. Obviously, someone will be a lock at long snapper, but we don't know which one, so can't include either of those guys. All right, shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. We will get to some safe players here in just a moment, but if you want to get started with our friends at Prize Picks, do so today. Link is in the comments and description. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup. Pick more or less on stat projections. With the World Cup, you got goals, assists, shots on target, goalie saves, passes attempted, crosses, clearances, fouls drawn, fouls taken, all kinds of stuff. Baseball with those stats. And then if you're a football junkie, you don't care about these other sports, season-long stat projections are available as well. This is a new one I launched. 20 to win 155. Our guy Caleb Williams, I think it happens. More than 3,999 and a half passing yards. He hits 4K. I take the more there. Justin Jefferson, 1149 and a half. He was almost there last year with horrible QB play. I'm taking the more there. And then Justin Herbert, I think with Mike McDaniel, I think his passing yards go back up. So I'm taking the more on that one as well. 20 to 1, 155 on that season-long player picks lineup. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup with Prize Picks. Code HMA, $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup. Get started today. Link is in the comments and description. Okay, let's get to the safe category here on this video. Case Keenum, he's as close to a lock as it can get, but you know, he's old. You know, could he decide to randomly retire, or could they cut him and then bring him back if they need a roster spot? There's some different things that could happen. Jahdae Walker, I think, is safe. I think it would be surprising if he got cut, but just with Thomas being a third-round pick, I think he's more safe than Walker just based on investment. Braxton Jones, Thought about putting him in as a lock, but, what if Jedrick Wills beats him out or something? Maybe Jones were to get traded or something like that. Theo Benedict, I think he's very safe. Again, very close to a lock, but not a starter, so, couldn't quite put him there. Neville Gallimore, 2-year deal. He's probably your third defensive tackle. Again, it would be surprising if he's not here, but not quite a lock. Jordan Vandenberg, I thought about bubble, but you're just kind of thin at defensive tackle, so I think he's pretty safe. I think he'd have to have a really poor training camp to get cut, but 6th-round picks sometimes don't make the team, so it's certainly not a lock. Daniel Hardy, I think, is close to a lock, but when you're special teams only for the most part, it's not a guarantee. I have him in the safe category. DeMarco Jackson, Keyshawn Elliott, I think are both very safe. Jackson got a 2-year deal. Keyshawn Elliott was a 5th-round pick. Usually if you're drafted in the top 5 rounds, you make the roster. Terrell Smith, I think safe here. I thought about putting him on the bubble, but I think he's in a good spot at this point in time, so we'll see how that ends up playing out. Okay, Josh Blackwell, I think he's safe. He's special teams ace. As close to a lock as you can get, but I think when you're special teams only, it's not a 100% guarantee. Cam Lewis, safe. He was banged up during the OTAs period. I think he's on the right side of the bubble, certainly, so would be a surprise if he didn't make it. Got a 2-year deal. And then Elijah Hicks, he's been here for 4 years, re-signed here, one of your better special teams player, and probably your third safety right now. Okay, let's get to the bubble. Okay, Roschon Johnson. I think he's got the inside track to be your third running back, but maybe they just keep 2 and have a package for Zavion Thomas, so he's going to have to earn it. I got Brenton Brown and Salvon Ahmed in there as well. Brown showed some promising things last year, and Ahmed, while he's been hurt the last couple of years, he's had some production in the NFL, and he played under new running backs coach Eric Stootsville in Miami, so I think there's a world he makes the team. Scotty Miller's on the bubble. If they keep 6 receivers, I think he's got a good chance of making the team, but they could just keep 5, and if that's the case, he could be the odd man out. Hayden Large, I think, is a kind of a tight end fullback hybrid, has a shot to make the roster. Nikola Kalinic I put on the bubble too. He was the late season guy they would elevate off the practice squad. He played some special team snaps in the postseason, so maybe he pushes to be that 4th tight end if they carry 4. Jedrick Wills, I didn't really know where to place him. I've said it all offseason. He's got a wide range of outcomes here. He could be the starting left tackle or he could get cut, and with those considerations and injury history, I've got him on the bubble. Jordan McFadden wanted to put safe, but he was a little banged up in OTAs. And remember, he initially did not make the roster last year. Yes, he started a playoff game, but I don't think it's a guarantee he makes the team. I leaned bubble here, but he could be safe. Luke Newman, same deal. If I had to guess, I think McFadden and Newman make the team, but there could be a scenario where they just keep 1, which is why I put both on the bubble. Kentavious Street and James Lynch, likely one of those guys makes it and the other guy gets cut, unless Vandenberg's really bad, right? If Vandenberg's not good, then probably both make it. But if Vandenberg's safe, then I would guess they keep one of these 2 guys, cut the other one. Jack Sanborn and Ruben Hippolyte could be a very similar deal where they keep 1, cut 1. Ruben was a 4th-round pick last year, so if it's close, you would think they would give him the nod. The key for him is he's got to be able to play on special teams. John Radigan is a name that not many people know. He's played on NFL rosters for multiple years in the past. Good special teams player in the past, so they added him in around the time when they signed Scotty Miller. He's got a chance to make the team. And then Jaylon Jones, really good special teams player, but not as impactful as Josh Blackwell. You got a lot of corners in the mix. You could argue he should be more safe in Terrell Smith bubble, but I just think with some concerns with Kyler Gordon and also Malik Muhammad being a rookie, keeping Terrell Smith, who's played a lot of ball, makes some sense to me. Okay, bubble. One's going to make it and one's going to get cut. It's a competition, so I put them both on the bubble, both long snappers. Luke Elkin and then Bo Gardner. Elkin, who's a 2nd-year player, he was in on the offseason roster last year, but they went with Scott Daly, who's now out of the picture, and then Gardner, who's a rookie this year. I guess, give Elkin the edge. He was the long snapper for Tory Taylor at Iowa, but who knows? I'm no long snapper expert, so we'll see how that one shakes out. Which player on the roster bubble are you pulling for this year? Maybe it's someone I didn't mention, but if you want to do it based on my bubble list or if you have a bubble list, let me know down in the comments below. Now, I think these 2 players start on PUP, so I didn't put them into a category. Like Trapillo obviously would be a lock. Second-round pick last year, that was your starting left tackle, but we know for sure he's not going to be ready at the beginning of the year. I don't know for sure with Noah Sewell. I went back and checked. December 28th was the date he tore his Achilles. So he probably had surgery early, mid-January. Sometimes Achilles are like 6 or 7 months. Sometimes they're like 9 to 11 months. So I don't really know his timetable. I would guess they both start on the PUP list. If Sewell's ready, then he's probably on the bubble fighting for a spot in a crowded linebacker room. At least that would be my guess. Okay, before we get to some guys unlikely to make the team but could be pushing for practice squad spots, we are also sponsored by SeatGeek. Use code CHAT10 to get 10% off your next set of tickets. SeatGeek is MLB's official ticket marketplace. Your tickets are fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. So if you want to go check out the White Sox and the Cubs, couldn't recommend that more. Both teams playing well this year, especially the Cubs that recently have gotten hot again finally. Bears tickets available as well. You can get into the preseason opener for, last time I checked, less than $90 against the Browns. Tickets go up obviously for the regular season, so if you're on a budget, I would recommend that. When you're on the SeatGeek app, look for the green dots. Green dots equals good deal. Red dots equals bad deal. They're very transparent with that in the app, so go check that out. So sporting events, World Cup perhaps, Bears games, baseball, etc., comedy shows, concerts. Get your tickets with SeatGeek. All you got to do is use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets. That's current user or new customer. That's 10% off with promo code CHAT10. Link is in the comments and description. To download the SeatGeek app today, go ahead and check it all out. Code CHAT10, 10% off. Okay, let's continue here. Bears roster long shots. You never know. You never know. One or two of these guys could push for a spot, maybe fight their way back under the bubble. Miller Moss, I think they're going to keep 3. And I think they like Keenum in that room. So I think his best chance would actually be like Tyson Bagent were to get traded or something like that. Coleman Bennett, UDFA running back. I just assume he's starting at the bottom. Maybe he surprises and gets onto the bubble. We'll see. J.P. Richardson, could he beat out a Scotty Miller and find his way onto the bubble? Certainly never know. Same with Maurice Alexander. Both have return ability there as well. Amari Kelly, Kyron Hudson, Caden Davis, also some UDFA receivers. Steven Carlson's been around for a long time, but he's getting older. I just think if they keep a 4th tight end, they're going to go with one of the younger guys. That's just my gut feeling. Quadir Ismail, interesting kind of body type. We'll see if he pushes for a spot. Karan Magaji, I do think he's a long shot at this point, but what gives him a shot is they spent a 3rd-round pick on him a few years ago. So if he shows signs of improvement, and most importantly, that he's healthy, then he would have a chance, I would think. But for now, I got him as a long shot because he's had health concerns and he has not performed in the few chances he has gotten to play. Kyle Hergel, I thought about putting him on the bubble because he got some first-team reps in minicamp, but we found out later some of that was due to like Jordan McFadden's banged up and he missed some time, etc. So I would still think he's a long shot. Caden Barnett, they gave him a couple $100,000 guaranteed. He was a draftable player, so maybe he's got a shot, but I still have him in the long shot category. I think he'd be a practice squad priority, though. Mason Murphy's a long shot. Jaron Kump is a well. You have multiple centers. Jeremy Chroma's been here for a few years, but he's never been on the active roster. Don't think he's going to make it now. Same with Jeremiah Martin and Jonathan Garvin. Jaden Loving is an athletic player. RAS score was very similar to a guy like Jordan Vandenberg, so we'll see if he pushes. I think he'd be a guy you'd like to get onto your practice squad. Nefi Sewell, I'd be surprised. Maybe if some injuries continue to pop up at linebacker, he's got a chance. Otherwise, I don't think so. Tony Fields II has played in the NFL before, played in the UFL this spring, so maybe he's in that kind of John Radigan category, but he just got here, so I think he's got a long way to go. And then you got Wayne Matthews at linebacker as well from the UFL. Dante Manning. Dallas Flowers got elevated from the practice squad a couple times last year, so maybe keep an eye on him, but it's a very crowded cornerback room. Casey Ezio-Mume, the UDFA rookie, is a long shot. Skylar Thomas, he's a guy I'd like to see on the practice squad, a multi-year starter at Oregon State, so we'll see if he can show anything. And then Javarius Owens and Anthony Johnson Jr., I think, at the bottom of that safety room are going to have to show a lot if they want to have a chance to stick around. So there you have it. grade the Bears roster A, B, C, D, or F. Drop a letter grade down in the comments section below. My name is Harrison Graham. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And as always, bear down. I am sweating this out, Cullen. We've got the France-Morocco game on, and I took less than 2.5 goals, and there's been some chances down the stretch here for both teams. So I think I just got to write. I got to write it out.
Yeah,
I could cash out early for $62. Max is 68, so I'd only lose $6, but there's only a minute left. I think I just got to let it go, right?
Yeah, I think you're in a good position here.
All right. I mean, I think Morocco knows they can't.
Ron Winarski says A. RCFN says B+. Chris says A. Prometheus says B+.
Yes, fell.
Roberto,
yes.
B+. Kim with a B.
Tail my picks at H Graham NFL on Prize Picks. Let's go.
We are going to get into part 1 of the top 10 moments from the 2025 NFL season for the Chicago Bears, at least according to Mr. Graham over there. So get some predictions down below in the chat of some of your favorite moments that you think could be in that 6 to 10 range.
Gosh, I have been snake bitten. I've been on a losing streak with Prize Picks, so just close this out, please. Please.
I actually got to check my lineups as well.
Oh, don't give me some garbage time goal here. No. Just kick it out. You don't need to shoot. Yes, over the goal. Yes.
Dude.
Is that it? Did they blow it?
Wow.
Yes. Come on. This is why we play, baby. This is why we play. Boom.
Look at this brutal beat.
Let me see.
Yeah. Brutal beat.
That's tough.
Brutal.
It wasn't crazy amount, but still, that stings.
That stings.
Calling out a tough
That's
hit
tough.
3 of 4 in a Prize Picks lineup. He just needed one more save from the
That's why you flex play.
I was concerned with Morocco.
That's why you flex play.
Yeah, that's why you flex play. He would have made a little money there. That was my concern with Morocco not having their striker. Their best chance was to win this game like 1-0 or like get to penalty kicks 1-1 or once France scored that second goal, it was over.
Right. All right, Frank, you've been spamming Max Crosby in the chat, and more importantly, you've been spelling his name wrong. I'm going to put you in timeout for 5 minutes, and then you can come back. Chill out, though. Just chill.
What's he doing? Just spamming Crosby?
Well, he was spamming Max Crosby, but it was M-A-X Crosby. Not even spelling his name right, and he's spamming him in the chat.
No reason to spam, guys. By the way, mailbag coming up in like 15 minutes, so hashtag Bears or Super Chat. We're going to get into part 1 of our Bears best moments from 2025. So
a lot of cool moments.
Then we'll get to your questions. So hashtag Bears or Super Chat.
Seeing some of them coming in. I see Luke Clark with a question, Cody with a question, and then Quick, I think, with a question as well.
Let's go.
Great day.
France to the semis. They will face the winner of Spain and Belgium. Spain, France. I mean, that's got fireworks written all over it.
Especially now, too. Well, more storylines depending on who wins that game. What's killing Mbappe? I mean, he's walking right now, so I'm assuming he's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think he was just getting beat. I think just with the 2-goal cushion, just get him out of the game.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. And they don't play till Tuesday, so he's got
they do not.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days off. So
this Friday, Saturday, what? Saturday.
Tony, that's a good question. If you throw hashtag Bears in a message with that question, we'll be able to pick it up on our software, and I can answer it on the show. I think there's a decent chance, but I'll expand on that answer if you fire in a question.
See, like Patrick, he used hashtag Bears. His question.
Yep. Do you have the audio settings to what it needs to be?
Yes. Good thing you reminded me.
I got you. So, what's tomorrow's World Cup game? Is it England? Feels like they haven't played in a while. Let's see. It is Spain, Belgium. That's right, because the U.S. was going to play tomorrow. So it's Spain, Belgium tomorrow. Oh, we got 2 on Saturday. Let's go. Yeah, no game Sunday. Yeah, because then the semis is Tuesday and Wednesday, and then the third place game is the next Saturday, and then the championship is on Sunday. All right. Let's get to part 1 of our Bears' best moments from 2025. It's the wrong player L3. All right, guys, we're going to reset here. Bears' best moments coming up. We are going to revisit the Bears' best moments, and boy, were there a bunch, from the 2025 NFL season. My name is Harrison Graham. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now, presented by Prize Picks. This is part 1. This is a 2-part series. There were so many good moments. I said, let's split it into 2 videos. So today, we will go through moments 6 through 10, and I'll tee them up. Producer Cullen, dug up the clips from last year. We'll get to revisit those. You guys can check those out, and we'll kind of just reminisce on each of those moments. And then top 5 will drop soon as well. So stay tuned. We'll also take a look at a few honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut. I want to know from you guys, what was your favorite Bears moment from 2025? If you had to pick one, your favorite moment from 2025 for the Chicago Bears, I want to know what it was. All right, we'll start with number 10. Kind of an under-the-radar one. Devin Duvernay, a big-time kick return late in the game against the Minnesota Vikings, a game that should not have been hanging in the balance, but was, to set up Cairo Santos, who would later knock in the game-winning field goal. Let's take a listen.
Return from the 4, 10, 15, 20. He's got room, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, down to the Vikings' 37-yard line. For the first time all year, you get a big return from Devin Duvernay when you have to have it.
Oh, my goodness.
That was huge. Because remember, up to that point in the season, you were not getting a lot out of the return game. Remember the first 6 to 8 weeks, really the special teams as a whole were under fire. The kick coverage units were starting to get better. They had been better for a few weeks, but you were always left wanting more with Devin Duvernay, who to his credit, after this one started to pop a few, not necessarily to that level, but was getting past the 30, 35 more consistently. But I think you saw with the Bears offseason, they were looking for more juice, which is why they signed Kalif Raymond, which is why they bring in Zavion Thomas. The frustrating part about that game is the Vikings had no business whatsoever being in that game. Really, both games against Minnesota, the Bears dominated, and in week 1, obviously, they just unraveled in the fourth quarter, and in this one, they just left a lot of points on the table. But luckily, a few plays later, Cairo Santos knocks in the field goal, and you're able to salvage a split against Minnesota. Okay, let's keep it rolling here. At number 9, Caleb Williams torches the Flus, Matt Eberflus, 4 touchdown passes. Let's revisit those.
6-man pressure. It's picked up. Caleb fires. Left side. It's caught. It's going to be a touchdown. Odunze finds the end zone. Bears take a 6-0 lead. Type those TDs in the chat. Caleb under center. Inside. Flea flicker. Caleb fires. Downfield. Has a man. It's caught. Luther Burden. It's a touchdown. 65 yards on the trick play. The Bears take a 13-3 lead. A little trickery from Ben Johnson. Play action. Williams throws. End zone. It's caught. Touchdown. Kmet. Boom. 3rd touchdown of the first half for Caleb Williams. Bears take a 23-14 lead. Here we go. Ben Johnson smelling blood. 4th and goal at the 4. Williams looking. Caleb steps up on the run. Throws wide open. DJ Moore 4th touchdown pass of the day. Not 1, not 2, not 3. That's 4 on the board. Caleb Williams makes it a 30-14 game, extra point away from making this a 3-score advantage in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter.
This was quietly a huge game. I also thought about including the Tyrique Stevenson just rip away from Javonte Williams, because remember, you're 0-2. The Cowboys are going straight down the field to potentially take a 7-0 lead. Stevenson rips that ball out, and then Caleb kind of has his first breakout performance in the Ben Johnson offense, where they just torch Dallas and Matt Eberflus's defense, which was a theme for Flus last year. A rough couple of years for the Flus, who's now an assistant in San Francisco. I was surprised Shanahan hired him, but nice to turn the page completely on Matt Eberflus and kind of embarrass him a little bit there. All right, we got plenty more to get to, 8, 7, and 6, but we got to show some love to our awesome sponsor, Prize Picks. They make this all possible. Use our code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks is available in all 50 states. You just pick more or less on player picks, stat projections. We're talking passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards with football, touchdowns, interceptions, sacks, so much available. You got soccer going on, you got baseball going on, but if you're a football junkie like me and can't wait for football, you don't have to. Season-long stat projections are available. There's also week 1 projections as well. I got a 3-player lineup, a new season-long projection that you can find all my lineups at HGram NFL if you search me, but 20 to win 155. Justin Jefferson took more on his 1,149.5 receiving yards. He's going to have a huge year. Horrible QB play last year. I love the more there. Justin Herbert, tackles are healthy now. You got Mike McDaniel. I think they unleash him as a passer this year. He gets back to being a 4,000-yard guy. And then I'm leaning into it. Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer until this season. Caleb Williams, demon pick to increase the payout. He clears 4,000 plus there. 20 to win 155. Use our code HMA to get $50 in the lineups when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup. Only at Prize Picks. Link to download the app is in the comments and description of this video. All right, let's continue with our 2025 best moments. Part 1, we're going 10 all the way down to 6 today. Number 8. Caleb Williams ices the game in Philly after hammering at the Eagles on the ground all afternoon. A little throw over the top to Cole Kmet to put the game away.
Play action boot. He'll just go for the touchdown. He's got him. It's Cole Kmet. Swift was wide open in the flat. I was like, just flip it to him. Throws over the top. Caleb Williams to Cole Kmet. The Bears trying to drop the hammer in Philadelphia. They lead 23-9 with 6:19 to go.
I think this was the most complete performance of the season last year. You go into Philly, the defending Super Bowl champs, on Black Friday. You just hammer them on the ground for 281 yards rushing. I mean, Ben Johnson kind of pants Fangio that day. Huge games from Swift and Monangai. Caleb was kind of actually up and down in this game, but you're in field goal range there, so you don't want to have a negative play. That's why I was like, just flip it into the flat to Swift. Maybe he makes a guy miss, gets a first down, but he saw Kmet slip out and lofted it over the top for a beautiful touchdown pass to really put the game out of reach. So that was a lot of fun. I think the most complete performance of the season. Maybe not the most satisfying or epic win of the year, certainly, but one that I think showed the rest of the league that the Bears are for real. All right, we get to number 7. Iceman is born. At least we found out publicly afterwards that this is the nickname that they were starting to give their quarterback. 4th quarter comeback. Caleb Williams puts the game on ice.
Bootleg to the left. Caleb is going to run, turns the corner, first down, touchdown! Caleb Williams gives the Bears the lead, 17 yards. The Bears take the lead with about 1:45 to go. Type those TDs in the chat.
If you remember in this game, well, first of all, after the game, Luther Burden on Instagram replied to Caleb's post with Iceman, and it kind of took off from there, at least publicly. But if you guys remember in that game, it was an ugly game. The Bears were down 20-10. Jackson Dart for a lot of that game was actually outplaying Caleb Williams. He actually gets knocked out of the game, and then fourth quarter Caleb went crazy. He had another long run up the sidelines the drive before. Then he threw a touchdown to Odunze to cut it to 3. Bears get the ball back, and then Caleb takes it in himself to put the game on ice. But that was quietly a big win because you were in a good stretch there, and it kind of felt like a trap game. Brian Dable was on the hot seat. He ended up getting fired after this game. So a big win for Chicago as they were making their push for the postseason. All right, we got, I think, one more here. We'll get to it in a second, but this is why you subscribe and join us, because we go live for every single Bears game. That includes the preseason, folks, so we're just over a month away from that. So hit that sub button, turn on notifications. We drop videos every day. We go live for every single game. We also go live on Monday and Thursday, so rock and roll with us this season, and have a good time. Hopefully the Bears deliver some awesome moments in 2026. Okay, let's get to number 6. Colston Loveland tells the NFL, yeah, I'm that dude. Almost a walk-off touchdown in Cincinnati.
Williams takes the snap. 4-man rush. Fires up the seam. It's caught! Colston Loveland breaks a tackle. 20, 10, touchdown! Chicago Bears from 58 yards. The Bears retake the lead. 47-42, 17 seconds left. Please win this game. Please.
Absolutely ridiculous it had even gotten to that point, because remember, the Bears were up, let me think real quick. So they were up 41-27 with like 5 minutes left. And we thought it was going to be 48-27 on a Tremaine Edmonds pick 6, but he was touched down by a fingernail after Flacco was picked off. And so that came all the way back. Bears go 3 and out because they're backed up inside their 5. Because remember, Edmonds took that almost 100 yards. Bears go 3 and out. Bengals score with about 2.5 minutes left. They get the onside kick, score again. And the first time they played the analytical game, they went for 2. So when they got the onside kick, it was like, oh, shit. Like, if they score, they could win the game because they only need an extra point. They did, but they left the Bears just enough time. Caleb had a key 15-yard scramble on 3rd and 10 to start that drive. And then on the very next play, hit Loveland on a beautiful seam shot where he just bowling balled off a defender and took it the distance. And it was like, whoa, that dude can play. Pretty big moment from the rookie. Okay, some honorable mentions. I already mentioned the Tyrique Stevenson one verbally, but the opening drive, remember against the Vikings, was like, oh my God, like, the Bears are here. And then it was kind of sloppy the rest of the way. Took a few weeks for the offense to really get going, but it was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Caleb had that throw to Rome on the run on the right sideline, and then he ran in that touchdown and like, let's freaking go. In that same game, you get the pick 6 from Deshaun Wright to go up 17-6. You're like, this game's over. Then they completely collapsed against J.J. freaking McCarthy in the fourth quarter and lost that game. So couldn't include those considering you lost to Minnesota. The T.J. Edwards pick 6 to literally start the game in San Francisco on Monday Night Football. Again, didn't win the game, so couldn't put it in the top 10, but that was pretty electric to start the game. The Caleb Williams to DJ Moore touchdown pass in the freezing weather. Remember, he was rolling right and threw it to the back of the end zone, and DJ caught it over the defender. That was pretty awesome. And then Swift, when the game started to get away from the Bears in Washington, he catches like a simple out route, but makes a guy miss and goes like 60 yards for a touchdown. It's like, oh, we're back. And, of course, the Bears ended up winning that game. Make sure you guys subscribe and join us. We'll have part 2 of the Bears' best moments from 2025. The top 5 moments, you could probably guess what a couple of those are. We will do that in a separate video, so subscribe, and we'll see you then. All right, it is mailbag time. Before we get to part 2, mailbag time. By the way, someone in the chat says Joe Flacco's a bad man. He threw for 470 in that game. 470. It was crazy.
I remember.
Hashtag Bears or Super Chat, just like Prometheus here. Appreciate the 5. He says, love the graphics on my cheese grater t-shirt. All 3 are great. Thanks, Harrison. Yeah, if you want to go check out any of our merch, chatsports.com/bearshop. It's all available for you guys. But, yeah, I got an FGB shirt, got a cheese grater shirt, so you guys can go check that out. We'll definitely have some new merch coming up once we get into the season as well. All right, I know we have a few questions, but let's get a few more. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. I also see a few questions that don't have hashtag Bears in the message. The reason we ask you guys that is because we're able to kind of, with our software, put a keyword in there. And so we put hashtag Bears. So if you attach that to your message, Cullen is able to quickly find it and get it on screen. So that is the purpose for that. So if you do that or just send a Super Chat, there's a separate kind of box that pops up for us on that. That works as well. Otherwise, it's hard to find your question. So hashtag Bears, Super Chat. Those are the ways to get on the show. Tony says...
Tony, did you see mine? Let's see.
Tony...
yeah, you're in there, Tony.
What is it? Hashtag Bears?
It is hashtag Bears question. What was I going to say? So the photo that you sent me for not this segment, but the next segment, that came out, what it's been doing for a minute, where it's a Prize Picks photo.
What?
I don't understand why, but I figured I'd pass that message along to you. But like Harry said, use hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Bears fan for life.
I screwed this one up, but I've got it here. Just give me a sec.
Cool. Bears fan for life. We see that you sent in a Super Chat. We're not ignoring it. We're going to actually include it in the mailbag, so he's for sure getting in there. But yeah, if you use hashtag Bears or Super Chat, you guys can get in on this mailbag. Could be a number of different questions you could ask for agent targets, trade targets, position battles coming up in training camp. If you guys got questions, chances are my guy Harry's got answers. So use hashtag Bears and get your questions in.
That should work for you.
Let me double check.
That should work for you.
I'll switch the audio back, by the way.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, man. What are you guys doing this weekend? I'm off to San Diego.
Should be a good time.
For a few days. Yeah, it'll be nice. Be a little cooler weather. Go hit the beach a couple times. It's actually our anniversary this weekend as well, so
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How many
This is number 6. Number 6. Oh, yeah. So rocking and rolling. Take your kid to Legoland. That's not a bad idea. We're for sure going to the zoo. Maybe we'll do that as well. We got a lot of things we're planning to do, but that's a good one too. Maybe we'll do that. Thank you for the rec. Thank you for the rec.
We're good on that end. Let's get ready here for some mailbag.
All right, hashtag Bears Super Chat. Fire away. They do have SeaWorld. We might do that. PJ's still on the younger side, so we'll see, but certainly an option. All right. Mailbag coming up in 15, part 2 of the Bears' best moments from last year, so stay tuned. I'm Harrison Graham, and Bears Now is presented by Prize Picks. Let's hop into a mailbag here from Is It Time for Football? I hope it needs to be. It needs to be. I'll tell you that. Could TJ Watt pop up as a surprise trade candidate for the Bears? I don't really think so. He's a smaller edge rusher. He's like 240, 245. He's also 32, and he costs a lot of money. I mean, he's making $41 million per year. Sometimes the way those bigger contracts are structured, if you trade for them, they're not as detrimental on your cap compared to the team they're leaving, but it still would be $32 million this year against the Bears cap. They'd have to move a lot of money around. Again, as I've said all offseason, could they do it? Yes, they have enough contracts they can, maneuver and push money down the road where if they really wanted to, they could. But I don't think TJ Watt's the right guy. He's too old. He costs too much money. His play is declining. He's still very good. He's still awesome, but I don't think he's a perfect fit, and I don't think it's the right time for TJ Watt for where he's at in his career. So I would pass personally on TJ Watt. Now, name a player that you do think the Bears should trade for. Maybe you want TJ Watt. You can drop his name down in the comments. But if it's someone else, let us know who that is as well. All right, we got a super chat from Bears Fan for Life. Appreciate the 10. He says, what's your boldest prediction for the Bear this season that you genuinely believe could happen? So super bold, but I think could happen. I'll give you super bold. 4,500 passing yards for Caleb. If the Bears drop rate goes from I think it was third worst to middle of the pack, that's going to give you a couple hundred extra yards. And if Caleb goes from 58% to 62, 63, I think 4,500 is on the table. Now, they've never had a 4,000-yard passer, which is why it's super bold, but I also think it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'll definitely do a full video on my bold predictions. I'm going to react to Cullen's bold predictions as well. But that's one that I would throw out there that I don't think is crazy. I think Caleb could be at or near the top of the league in passing if a couple things go right this year. Okay, Tony Love, he says, hey, Harrison, do you see the Bears signing an edge? I still think there's a decent chance. Clearly, at this point, they're going to get into training camp and kind of see what they got. Probably get through the first couple weeks, see what the early attrition is, if any injuries pop up, see how the guys look, maybe get through a joint practice, a preseason game, and reassess. But I definitely would not rule that out. You've got Montez Sweat, Austin Booker, Dayo Odeyingbo has made his way back and healthy. You don't know if and when Shemar Turner is going to be ready to start camp. But even if he is, that's kind of all you got. And both Turner and Odeyingbo are kind of tweeners. They can kick inside some. So I would like to see them add one. Whether or not they will, I don't know. I would say it's a coin flip depending on how training camp's going. Shout out to the fine folks over at Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. You pick more or less on 2 or more players, stat projections, and if you hit, you win money. It's as simple as that. All sports available, tons of stats available to set your player picks lineups. We'll show an example in a minute. You can also make team picks. You can pick who's going to win these World Cup games. You want to pick the Cubs to win, you can do that as well. Take more or less on points, runs, goals, all kinds of stuff available. Team picks are a lot of fun as well. Obviously, they're staple. They're player picks lineups. I got a new season-long football lineup if you're just locked in on football season. 20 to win 1 at 55 here. Justin Jefferson, I think he's poised for a big season in Minnesota. Didn't have his best, yet still had well over 1,000 yards last year. So I think he goes more than 1,149.5. Justin Herbert, I think he clears 3,600 passing yards with ease. And then Caleb Williams, our guy. I think it happens. I think 4,000 is in the cards this year, so more than 39.99.5. 20 to win 155. Get started with Prize Picks today. Use code HMA to get $50 in player picks lineups when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup. That's code HMA, $50 once you sign up and play your first $5 lineup. Okay, Quee Liquor. Interesting. What are you comfortable paying Rome if he has a great year? I mean, if it's he's the clear number one, you would still have 2 years. The first thing you would do is pick up the 5th-year option. I'll just throw, let's say he has 85 catches, 1,200 yards, and 9 touchdowns. It's okay, he's not Jamar Chase, but he's a top 15 NFL receiver. I think you start exploring a contract. Could you get him in that $30 million per year range, which I know sounds like a lot, but that would still be on the low end for a number one receiver. So I think you would approach it like that. If you can get a deal that's on the lower end of the spectrum for a number one, I think you would potentially strike. If not, I think you would play next year out, especially if Luther Burden's coming along too, because I'm kind of starting to enter that mindset of do you want to pay 2 receivers big money? I don't know if that's the best way to construct a roster, especially for this team that's going to run a lot of 12 personnel and some 13 personnel as well moving forward. So, let's see how the year plays out. I'm certainly open to an extension if the price is right and he shows he's healthy, but he's got to earn that first. So we'll have to wait and see. Shout out to Luke Clark, #Bears. What are the chances Malik Muhammad straight up wins the CB2 job? 30% chance. I don't think it's crazy that could happen. He missed mini camp. He was banged up, so he's got to be healthy for training camp, obviously. But he's going to have opportunities. It's not like Tyrique Stevenson has, earned the full trust of this coaching staff. If that was the case, he probably would have been playing more down the stretch over a compromised Jaylon Johnson or a Nahshon Wright that was starting to get figured out by opponents. Like, he was playing some, but he was not playing full time. So I think there's a world where it happens. I wouldn't bet on it. I think he likely enters week 1 as just your fourth corner. If Kyler Gordon gets banged up, he can step in at nickel. If Tyrique is struggling or gets banged up, he can step in there. If Jaylon Johnson's banged up, he can step in. But I wouldn't rule it out. I think there's a chance it happens. If you're ready for football season, hit the subscribe button. We are getting close. Just around the corner, football will be here. Training camp will be here. We'll have real football to react to. So can't wait for that. We'll be here for all of it. So hit that subscribe button today. All right, Patrick Miller, what game would you want to go to most if you could? I mean, I think now that the rivalry is back, Christmas Day against Green Bay would probably be the answer. That'd be awesome, obviously. Monday night against Philly, week 3. The primetime game in Seattle would be a fun road environment to go into. Those are a few that stand out. Maybe Thursday night against the Patriots at home, get Caleb versus Drake. That'll be a good one. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of fun games on the calendar. Go to Buffalo. DJ Moore's there now. New stadium. That'd be cool. So, yeah, those are a few. DC Viper, where do you rank Loveland and Kmet among NFL tight ends? I'm comfortable putting Loveland top 10 already. You're obviously still continuing to project there, but he was second in the NFL in receiving among tight ends, I think, after week 10. So, like, that's a notable sample size. I still think Kmet's probably a top 20-ish guy. Like, I think he would start for a decent amount of teams. Obviously, his, like, raw stats last year wouldn't show up, but he's a very good blocker. When he's been the number 1 tight end, he's basically been a 500 to 600-yard guy. That's well above average. So, he's still a good player. He just happens to be behind a freak now. I wouldn't even say behind. His role has just changed. He still plays enough snaps to be a starter, essentially, especially since their base offense is 12 personnel now. But, yeah, I'd say Loveland top 10, Kmet top 20-ish, top 25. I think both are starting caliber for sure. Will the Bears make a trade before week 1? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Remember, you always see some of those minor trades around roster cut down too, like those pick swap trades. So doesn't have to be a big name. It just any trade at all. Let me know if you think it'll happen or not. All right, got time for a few more. Lil Foos, not sure. After this year, where do you see the 2024 first-round wide receivers hierarchy? Well, Neighbors' health is is kind of the big question, right? If he's healthy and back to what he was, I think he's the best receiver from that draft. What does Brian Thomas do this year? As a rookie, he was awesome. Last year, it wasn't great. I don't think it's completely out of the realm that Rome could still be the best from that group. The first month last year, he was looking like the best from that group, but then some inconsistent play leaked in. He had the foot issue, so there's questions there. Is the story completely written on Marvin Harrison Jr.? There's a lot of talent in that group still, and they've all shown good things, but I think it's all for different reasons. There's been some inconsistency, really just with Neighbors, the injury. So, if you told me Neighbors is fully healthy, I would still pick him. But this knee issue sounds pretty serious, so I think it's truly up in the air still. All right, last one here from Scepter. What are you watching closely during the preseason? Position battle stuff, like left tackle, what does that look like? I don't know how much like Caleb and the high-end offensive starters will play this year compared to last year. I would imagine it's a little more cautious. What does some of the new defensive pieces look like? Dillon Thieneman, I think that's a guy I want to see play a good amount and see him fly around. I think we'll have a better idea of what guys are playing, but with the Bears being a good team now, I think you're not necessarily like every year it's been like, oh, the quarterback. Don't get me wrong, if Caleb plays, I'm going to be excited to watch that, but like I don't think there's really going to be a lot to overreact to, positive or negative there. So, rookies that are getting to play. Zavion Thomas, I would say. I want to see what he looks like. So, yeah, young guys and then some guys on defense because obviously the defense needs to be more consistent this year. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to hit me up on social media, you can, at HGramNFL on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/HGramNFL. Find us over there, publishing content on those platforms. DMs are open as well. And obviously subscribe to the channel too. Bear down. All righty, part 2 of our best moments coming up. 1 through 5.
Switching the audio now for that.
All right. Just Foose? Okay, I got you. Sometimes on screen, you can't tell if I's are L's or I's. Like, is it a capital I or just a lowercase L?
Yeah. It also, like, the TV that you're using isn't
the brightness is way different.
Like, for me, like, I can see it pretty clear, but I'm also this close to the screen, whereas you're, like, looking at, like, a TV with, like...
On this TV, the brightness is way different.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Not easy, but...
Let's get to it. Part 2. Then we'll get out of here. Part 2. Best moments from 2025. 1 through 5. And then we're on to 2026, baby. Here we go. All righty, here it is. The last time to reminisce on the 2025 Chicago Bears. Part 2 of the best moments from last season. We'll go 5 all the way to 1 here on today's show. My name is Harrison Graham. We are presented by Prize Picks here on Chicago Bears Now. If you missed part 1, you can go check it out either now, go to that video, and then come back, or you can finish this and then go watch 6 through 10 over there as well. That's the thumbnail for part 1, with part 2 being what you're watching right now. Also, if you want to support the channel, subscribe and go check out our other content as well. Okay, we get to number 5 now. Josh Blockwell, a huge field goal block in Las Vegas to get the Bears back to 500. Let's revisit that one.
It's going to be a 54-yarder from the left hash for Daniel Carlson. He's got 7 career game winners. Even if he makes this, there will be about 32, 33 seconds left, so make note of that. From 54, Carlson says he's ready. Here we go. Snap, hold, kick, blocked! Blocked! It's coming the other way! Or no, it's not, but it doesn't matter. Let's go, Bears! Let's go, Bears! Let's go, Bears! Come on!
That was a massive moment, and obviously by the end of the year, it was like, God, you were sweating one out against the Raiders. If they could play them again, they'd probably win by 30. But that was pivotal. You got the blowout win against Dallas in Week 3 to get to 1-2. Then you went on the road. Both teams 1-2. Winner gets back to 500, and the Bears were able to find a way. Josh Blockwell saving the day there. That was a huge, huge moment. And by the way, for whatever reason, I shouldn't say whatever reason, I'm a warm body. So I saw a comment on TikTok recently. I think I mentioned this on a stream recently. There's this Harrison Graham fan page on TikTok. You guys have maybe seen it before. I just found out about it recently. Someone replied to one of his edits with every pit stain told a story last year. I thought that was pretty funny. So that was certainly one of them. Big block by Josh Blackwell in Las Vegas. All right, Jake Moody gets the Bears' revenge in D.C. after the devastating Hail Mary loss in 2024. The Bears turn the cards on the Commanders in 2025.
Jake Moody from 38 yards to win the game. Snap, hold, kick is motherfucking good! The Chicago Bears beat the Washington Commanders 25-24. Same score as last week. Fuck the officials. Bears win. Overcome adversity. Let's fucking go. Let's get the hell out of Washington. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
To any kids watching, I apologize. I meant to warn that there might be a couple F-bombs in here, but that was glorious. Another game, honestly, early in the year that should not have come down to that. The Bears were in control for a lot of the game, had a really bad third quarter, but Jaden Daniels has the poor exchange on the handoff with Krosky Merritt, and then a couple first downs later, setting up Jake Moody for the game winner, who ended up with the Commanders after that, by the way. But that was sweet. That was sweet. And very much how the Bears' loss in Washington on the Hail Mary derailed the Bears' season, lost 10 in a row. Kind of the same thing to Washington last year. They fell to 3-3. I think they lost like 10 of their last 11 or something. It was really, really bad. So they never recovered either. So that was glorious. That was glorious to get revenge from the year before. All right, we got our top 3 coming up, but shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup. If you guys want to tail my lineup, search at HGramNFL in the social feeds tab. You can tail me or ride with our picks as well. That can be player picks. That can be team picks. Team picks, of course, when you're picking who's going to win these games, more or less on team goals, total goals, points, etc. It's all there for you. Obviously, the Prize Picks bread and butter is the player picks lineups. You take more or less on the individual player stats. You pick 2 or more players to qualify for a lineup. This is a 3-player lineup I got for football season. Justin Jefferson, more than 1,149.5 receiving yards. Justin Herbert, I think is going to have a huge year passing. I think he cruises past 4,000, to be honest. I think Caleb gets there too. The Bears' curse ends this year. They're getting a 4,000-yard passer. 20 to win 155 on this one. Code HMA, $50 in player picks lineups when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup. Code HMA to get that deal. It's all available. Link is in the comments and description. Okay, number 3. The Caleb Williams 4th down miracle to Cole Kmet against the Los Angeles Rams. The only play that was in a losing effort, but it was still magical in the divisional round of the playoffs. I slotted into the number 3 slot here. Here we go. Season on the line right here. 4th and 4. Rams showing a pressure look. Caleb takes the snap. 4-man rush. Williams drifting. Spins out. He's way behind the line. Just has to throw one up. It's caught! It's caught! Cole Kmet! First catch of the game! Unbelievable! The Iceman cometh! The Iceman taketh! Throw of the year! Touchdown! Chicago Bears! Holy shit! Oh, if they would have won, I think that's number 1. Even over what number 1 is going to be, I think this would have topped it because that play keeps your season alive and you end up going to the NFC Championship. Not meant to be. They opt to kick the extra point, make it. They lose in overtime. The miscommunication with Caleb and DJ. Unfortunate ending, but still magical pass. We'll see that play for years to come. And just the never say die Bears, the story of 2025. Speaking of that, speaking of the cardiac Bears, playoff comeback complete against Green Bay. After DJ Moore gives the Bears the lead, the Bears get the last second stop. 3rd and 15. Love drops the snap. Get him! Get him! Rolling left. This is the last play. He's got to throw it to the end zone. Get him, Montez! It doesn't matter! It's game over! It's game over! Incomplete! The cardiac Bears! They do it again! Caleb Williams! Ben Johnson! Shout out to you as well, Dennis Allen! Bears win! Bears win! Bears win! Bears win! Fuck Green Bay! Enjoy Cancun! We'll see ya! Bear the fuck down! I thought about this being number 1 because it was your first playoff win in like 15 years, but we'll get to number 1 in a second. I think you guys all know what it is. The funny part about this, though, is seeing the Packers get tight with the lead and just collapse and give up the comeback. And their fan base, a lot of cope this offseason. So the rivalry is back. It's better than ever. I think the Bears are in the Packers' heads just a little bit, maybe not fully. And I can't wait for the two matchups this year. And by the way, number one is also Bears, Packers. Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, the walk-off in Green Bay. But there were a couple big moments to set that up. This is a three-parter for the best moment from 2025.
You don't get this onside kick, even if they run it 3 times, at most you're going to have 1:10 left.
Oh, my God.
Ball's loose! Ball's loose! Did the football gods give you one? Let's see. The Bears have it! The Bears have it! Somehow, some way, the Bears have a chance. 4th and 4. Here it is. Packers bring pressure. Williams drifting. Has a man. Is he in? He is! Touchdown! Colston Loveland! Caleb Williams. No, it's John A. Walker. John A. fucking Walker brings it in off his back foot into the end zone. Extra point away. John A. Walker climbs the ladder. The unsung hero. I formation. Williams. Play action. Under pressure. He's going for it all. DJ Moore. Touchdown! DJ Moore! From 46 yards! Caleb Williams! The Bears! They steal this one! Unbelievable! Ben Johnson goes for it all! Dials up the play action post, and DJ Moore catches it. Bears win! Bears win! Somehow, someway, the Chicago Bears win!
I think that was moment of the year in the NFL, not just for the Bears. Certainly in the regular season. Crazy night. Really bad game for the Bears for literally about 57 minutes. You get the onside kick, the John A. Walker moment. By the way, I don't know why I thought that was Colston Loveland, but clearly it was not. The moonwalk man himself, John A. Walker, reeled that one in. And then Ben Johnson, 13 personnel, dials up a play-action post, and DJ Moore makes the catch of his life on a bomb from Caleb Williams. Awesome stuff. Just a magical season, man. It really, really was. For those of you who are here for the ride, incredible. It's been several long years to get to this point, and hopefully we get some good moments again this year. Maybe a little less, stressful ones, but hopefully a lot of wins here in 2026. We, of course, will be live for every single game. What was your favorite moment from 2025 as we turn the page to 2026? Once training camp's here, no more reminiscing. Favorite moment from 2025, you guys let me know in the comments of this video. My name is Harrison Graham. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. We'll be here every single day with content. We'll be here for every single game live on the channel and so much more. So don't miss out. All you got to do is subscribe. It's free. All right, there you have it. There you have it. Yeah, the Moonwalk Selly. Good stuff. Good stuff. You could have separated a couple of those, but those were all tied together. I was like, let's just throw it all together for number one. So, fun season. I'd be shocked if they delivered that many type of late game heroics this year, but we'll find out together. Football's almost back. Couple months from
Cardiac
week 1.
Bears. It's one of those seasons where you kind of sit back and when you go through all the plays, the big moments and everything, it was truly unlike any season I've quite seen just
crazy.
watching football.
They just never died. And even in some of those when they deliver. They didn't always win. Like, they didn't win the Rams game. They didn't, the first game in Green Bay, they fought all the way back. They didn't win. I think that's part of the misconception of this year. Everybody's like, oh, they had all these lucky wins. I think they were 8-5 in one-score games, so it's not like they had one of these, 10-1 in one-score games type of situation. So, if they just tighten some screws, they won't put themselves in some of these situations like they did in Cincinnati, for example. But a lot of fun. Couple years lost all of our lives, I think, but I think it was worth it in the end. So can't wait to get it all rolling again. Preseason in about a month, training camp in a few weeks. So we're on to a new year. We'll be there soon enough. But thank you guys so much for being here. We are going to sign off. Hope you guys have a good weekend. We'll have some videos that go out on the channel while I am gone. I'll be back next Wednesday. If there's major breaking news, I'll still be able to get you guys a video, or someone here can if it comes to that, but not much going on this time of year. So I will be back soon. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Bear down.